is the mystery writer? Are rumours of a royal connection true? Only you can decide with a competitively priced copy of the Junior Mystery Gazette.
Hi, I'm Andy Luke. I'm a writer who draws, and welcome to today's deep dive into episode 6, Press Gang Interface. We open with a brief scene of Colin doing the books, and more male duty by Tiddler and Fraz. The Roxburgh Award is introduced in short order. Colin has written the very opposite of a puff piece on Sarah, a sympathy piece, a deflate piece. To understand this episode, you need to know something about when it was made. Rosie Fletcher of Denham Geek writes, explaining the context. Press Gang was born in a strange in-between land where mobile phones and computers sat beside typewriters and public call boxes. We've got the internet from the first series, and I didn't really get how it worked. I had to ask someone what the internet was, laughs Moffat. Regular viewers will know I've been keeping a tally for each instance where Press Gang makes use of telephones as a plot point. Rather than continue as an ongoing count, I reset each episode and took them all up at the end of the series. Because let's face it, a story about 1990s internet and that tally will be ringing off the hook. Continuity goof there. Lynda can't be on the line. Danny isn't, and it's tied up for online use, which we had to do in the late 20th century of oldie times. One of the often quoted facts by the Press Gang fan base is this episode was one of the first uses of the internet in a piece of televisual fiction, certainly as a major event of the storyline. And so the internet arrives with all the splendour of Marconi's first transatlantic telephone call. It's kind of amusing watching this all scroll out so slowly. I can relate. This is the Alpha Smart. Built in the 1990s and 2000s for children as an educational tool, it's since been taken up by writers for its portability, sustainability, and how 3 AAA batteries can hold 50,000 words. I simply get a printer cable and plug it in and send. The tech appears to be authentic for the time. Households en masse wouldn't get internet for another 10 years. Pre-broadband, we had dial-up internet. Sometimes it would be as effective as fixing 2 yogurt pots and a bit of string into one of your ports. But for the most part, it was okay. Leaving the internet on all night would be unusual in the context of the Junior Gazette because of the high cost that went with this. Though Press Gang was not Moffat's first successful attempt at writing, Interface bears a few contrivances of the amateur writer, particularly when Sarah queries why an office supplies firm would promote creative writing, or why would a man rearrange his own office. There's another contrivance that goes unquestioned and that I think is more interesting. Why does Colin push the Roxburgh Award like he's in on the scam? By itself, the award is business sense. At the very least, he's been sold in the right direction. Of course, the mystery writer could always be a ninja.
Do you understand, Fraz?
My God, Lynda is Fraz.
I want that on a t-shirt. Interface is very atypical children's mystery adventure. Clive Wood and Angela Bruce appear in brief to contextualise a story with the real world. The episode plays on the practice of the writer's use of pseudonyms. Even with a byline behind the text suggests anonymity, especially among newer writers. And anonymity or invisibility is also frequently linked in academic discussion of disabilities, which must be this episode's nuanced masterstroke. While Lynda is uneasy with the notion of the mystery writer, it's a payday for Colin. An initial enthusiasm fades when faced with a long line of chancers, something akin to a repeat of episode 1's Mr. Vader on a loop. I was surprised to read in Jim Sangster's program guide, which accompanies the DVD releases, there was a cutscene referring to the character. Sarah tells Lynda Mr. Vader has phoned again. Apparently the Imperial forces have gathered on the dark side of the moon and kidnapped his dog. Sangster also points out Stephen Moffat makes a brief on-screen appearance as one of the candidates. Because Lynda is a mixed stew of neurodiversities, it's easy flow for her to be pulled into seeking conversation with the writer. Her imagined conversation helps her process this and her depression over getting dumped. James Armstrong was not forthcoming about the truth of the relationship, remember, and we can assume he hid his true timing behind a veil of secrecy. Some people talk to themselves because they're sure they have someone who listens to them. Spike's bedroom is teenager authentic, a den bordering on self-created squalor where room service is an expected feature. Surprised by Lynda, Dexter's panic is a laugh. Soala gets to do some prime trolling, but Spike's one-up, luring her by the intellect onto the bed with trivial pursuits. Their team-up develops a relationship into a place where they can tolerate each other. We get this in the detective work too, which, while feeling like a token plot trope choice, sets up their ableness to help each other out, even though Spike is duplicitous with the best of intent. It explores their abilities to work together and how they're at different worlds. Billy's reveal is framed with dark lighting and ominous music to build and execute suspense in solving the central mystery. I think there's an intention to be comedic here, horror, satire. Unfortunately, it comes over badly, in my opinion. A Phantom of the Opera, disabled mastermind. And that directorial misjudgment is offset by Andy Crow's deadpan performance and the devilishly sarcastic script that goes with it. Crow only has 8 or 9 lines in this, his main speaking scene, but each of them bring the funny and demonstrate why Billy is my favourite supporting character. Billy's father is played by Duncan Preston, an institution of British television from an episode of Crossroads in 1964, right up to a Midsummer Murders appearance in 2023. When it looked like Press Gang might get cancelled after Series 2, Moffat pitched his sitcom about school teachers to Bob Spears. This became Chalk. For Chalk's second season, Preston appeared as the deputy head teacher. Lynda and Mr. Homer in the kitchen.
But the plates are still greasy.
I love this line's little detail and how far it goes. It's a one and done show of Lynda as a control freak. And if I can make a reach, greasy plates might point to Asian food. Perhaps a takeaway? It looks like Billy's father is raising him alone. And everyone knows men can't cook. There's a real lot in this one line, even as a dialogue bridge to set up Spike's surprise entrance, which is a mirror to him being snuck up on by Lynda earlier. Moffat does love his patterns.
If you want to stick with the paper, from now on you show your face.
I think this is a poor choice of words. For one, it's aged terribly now we've all gone through remote working and understand the challenges mobility disabled people face. I think it's an unintended mistake. The clear message is that Lynda doesn't want any more anonymity from Billy, and that's a sure misnomer as regards traditional editorial practice.
Just about 3 little words.
So yeah, too close to being patronising, but Soala and Crow sell it. The round of applause feels uncomfortable, even patronising, but then it's how teenagers might react. If Billy is in the closet, okay, he's in a wheelchair, he can't fit in a closet. If he's in the closet about his relationship with publicity, this response seems a bad way to deal with that. Or maybe not. There is a through line. He's being celebrated not because of his disability, but because of his writing. It feels as if there are many parts of this story, and 25 minutes is not enough time to unpack them all. Using the end credit dialogue would have been an option, but for the fact the recording booth these presented accessibility problems for the able-bodied, so it can only have been a larger challenge to get Andy Crow in there. The end tag is used for Lynda defensively explaining why she was in Spike's house to Kenny, and we can hear Lee Ross smirking up a beam. We're going to round up this episode's deep dive with a feature on Andy Crow, who plays Billy. Graphic. Feature graphic. Although Billy's advanced computer skills place him in the magical cripple trope, insight into the actor's background and circumstances of his disability places this in a new context. Andy was born in Chelmsford, Essex around 1970-71. At age 15, he and a group of friends had been skip diving when he hit his head and cut his spinal cord. He was left severely paralysed from the neck down. While in hospital, Andy had a fortuitous meeting with a system developer for Apple. He was working on Head Start, the device Billy used in this series. Andy was invited to join a development team. Therefore, the accessibility aids Billy uses in Press Gang were in part designed by Andy. Another person on the dev team knew Bill Moffat, Stephen's father and Press Gang co-creator, and from there they began to develop the role of Billy. Crow would appear in a third of the episodes of series 1 and 2, which should have kept him busy. During this time, he was involved in another technological breakthrough. In his own words, in 1989 became the first person in the UK to pass a driving test using a 4-way joystick designed and manufactured by Steering Developments Limited. After Series 2, Andy appeared only twice more in Press Gang, once in Series 3's The Last Word, and once in Series 4 in a non-background speaking role. The decision lay with Stephen Moffat and was something he later regretted. Moffat admitted he found Billy tough to write and felt his appearances were contrived. While there's traces of contrivance here in Interface, I completely disagree. Moffat and Crow did a brilliant job. Billy is a wonderfully witty character, played with sharp acumen and dry delivery. His opinions on his disabilities are outspoken and often set the audience on alert to check their privileges. At the same time, we are given an avenue to course correct and be at ease. A terse, blunt sense of humour delivered with a kind smile. Billy even has a dog called Paralysis. If we were to play a game of What If for Billy in Series 3 to 5, he could have taken over the graphics department. Following Press Gang, Andy spent 9 years as an artwork typesetter at a local printing firm. In 2002, he performed his only other cinematic role as assistant production manager on the short Schluss. It's a 35-minute Austrian student drama directed by Eric Etchell about 2 disabled men, Alf, who is losing his powers, and Bernd, who has his strength but is unable to control it. The same year, he began a Bachelor of Science honours degree in Multimedia Systems at Anglia Ruskin University, Cambridge. According to his LinkedIn page, his dissertation was on assistive technology and computer access. In graduation, he worked as a project officer at the Essex Cultural and Diversity Project. This was a social care role as a self-directed support advisor. He'd worked for the ECDP for 12 years until his untimely death. In 2010, Andy renewed his relationship with Anglia Ruskin, serving as a qualified disability equality practitioner. The world became a sadder place when he passed away in January 2018, aged 47 years, in his birthplace, Chelmsford. We miss you, Andy Crow. I'd like to say a quick shout out to my patrons, John Robbins, author of Death to Everyone, wonderfully witty Irish crime novella, to Arsalan Haider Ali at The Lightbinder on Instagram, and to Art K and Andree Bolster and all the folks at Farset Labs, a wonderful hacker space, maker space in Belfast where people make new friends and advance their careers. My comedy drama novel, Occupied, is still available from Amazon, and it's very much in the Press Gang style. I think it was a big influence on writing this book. It's set in 2011, and the people of Belfast, Northern Ireland, stand up to austerity as part of a global protest movement with camping. As they pitch their tents in the sleepy cathedral quarter, visitors congregate, celebrities, trolls, activists with lofty ambitions. Though small in profile, they give food at homes, training, and social support. They become family amid the mud, snow, insomnia, and paranoia against the dying of the light. If you'd like to help support my work financially, you can go into the tip jars on PayPal and ko-fi.com/AndyLuke, or join my patreon.com/AndyLuke, which has loads of stuff on it every month. And I think we're about 4 or 5 episodes ahead on Press Gang. Please like, comment, and subscribe like Colin Matthews is paying you to do it. And share. Word of mouth is the fastest way to grow this channel. So send a friend a DM, leave a referral in comments to another thread that's related. Let them know I'm here, basically. You can check out the archives of my YouTube channel. I've covered Doctor Who and Star Wars Ahsoka. And with both these shows, you don't have to have watched the episodes. I think the review is an entertainment experience in itself. And every Sunday I run short commentaries on the long-running Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which is Chef's Kiss. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you again, I hope.